Good morning, Bulldogs, and welcome to the BNN Magazine Show. I am Maddie Smith.
And I'm Michaela Matheny. This time we'll be showing you more on figure skaters,
The Snow White production,
Seth Williams,
and Preston Sadler. Dancer Studio is putting on a production of Snow White. Here's Emma Wilson with more.
For this year's spring production, we're doing the classic tale of Snow White. My role this year is Happy the Dwarf. Happy is an extremely peppy person. One of the challenges of this role is that you always have to be happy, and smiling on stage for a really long time starts to hurt.
In Snow White, I'm a vulture, and it's fun being a vulture because we get to be really ugly and sloppy and just gross, and we're supposed to be really dumb because we are the evil queen's servants and we're basically obsessed with her and her doings, except we don't like the fact that she wants to kill Snow White because everybody loves Snow White. One of the hard things about being a vulture is that the costumes are very heavy and hot, and our wings are made out of various types of lace and satin and bubble wrap, which makes it noisy and look trashy on purpose.
These performances will take place in the Columbus North Auditorium this Saturday at 7 o'clock and Sunday at 2:30. Come out and support Downtown Dancer Studio.
Watch this segment to learn more about two Columbus North figure skaters.
My name's Iris Thompson and I'm a figure skater here at Lincoln Center.
My name's Nicole Cortez and I'm a figure skater.
I actually started when I was 6, so I mean I was not as young as most people now, but I was still in the range to not be too old. I think it was my mother's, I think she took me here once and I just kind of took to the ice and kind of liked it, so I went into lessons and just kind of stuck with it.
I started skating when I was 7, and it was the year after I moved to the United States, and I was just biking along the People Trail and I saw the ice rink and I wanted to see what it was, and I started signing up for lessons and took off from there. 7th and 8th grade, I stopped skating and I just got back freshman year. My dad thought it would be nice to have a little break to see what it would be like, and then once I got back, it was just all muscle memory and it all kicked in.
Definitely the hardest challenge for me is definitely mental, because I have a tendency to, before I go out and test or compete, I like to psych myself out because I'm so worried about how the end result's gonna be, instead of thinking about, okay, this is what I need to do. So a lot of times that's kind of put me back. Like one time, completely forgot my dance in the middle of a competition. Did not go well. There was only one section that I couldn't remember, so I'd stop, have to wait for the music, and then keep going. And I mean, I obviously was really upset.
The hard part is trying to get everything in place with also school and making time for a family, because I skate before and after school, which takes up a lot of my time. I think the most rewarding move would probably just landing a double combination. So you would have a jump that would be 2.5 turns, and then once you touch the ice, you would have to jump again for another 2.5.
Definitely the moment I feel like I accomplished the most was definitely last year's ice show. It was my second year soloing, but it was by far my best solo. I had so much fun with it. I was skating to the One Direction's best song ever, and it was just so much fun, and I got a lot of compliments from it, but that wasn't what drove me. It was like the audience, that the need to want to show them how much I love skating and show them that it's a fun sport. It's not just a grueling skate around and twirl. It's entertaining. It's just the same as like a theater or a choir. It's just different because you're on the ice and on skates.
One of my most successful achievements in skating would be getting my gold medal in moves in the field and getting my solo for the annual ice shows.
Well, since as senior year, is rolling around, I've decided I'd like to keep skating, so I'm hoping to join IU Bloomington's competitive team because I'd like to keep ice dancing because I've already reached gold level there, but I would like to possibly try the international dances and continue to do the sport I love without, competing in like regionals and national qualifying competitions. Being like out on the ice alone and like doing a program in and of itself is what I love about skating because I can entertain people through it. Because I don't really talk to a lot of people off the ice, but like on the ice I can entertain and like show how much I love skating to like an audience. And it's really not that bad being alone because you just kind of have that like your 15 minutes of fame kind of feel. And I always love that feeling.
Come see the annual ice show, Ice Camera Action, April 24th through the 26th. You can purchase tickets at the door or from an ice skater for $7. Watch this segment to learn more about one standout student athlete.
I first met Seth 4 summers ago when he was a freshman and he decided he wanted to try high school cross country. And so we've been working together for 4 years, really about all year long, because we have cross country in the fall and track in the spring and off-season workouts. So we've been together about 4 years. Seth is generally a quiet guy, though not necessarily that way with his friends, but outwardly he is. He's worked to become a good leader because he's a really good role model in his work ethic and in his racing capabilities. I think he's the same kind of person. I think he doesn't need to draw a lot of attention to himself, but works really hard to get a lot out of himself.
I usually run 50 miles a week, and I start out with a long run on Monday, which is about 9 miles, and then I do a PPM, a short PPM, which is a short workout that you run continuously for 4 miles, and then I have a recovery day on Wednesday, and then Thursday I have a long PPM, which is a long workout, 7 miles, and on Friday I have another recovery day. And on Saturday I have a time mile, try to go all out for a mile, and then just more recovery.
I think one thing about the way he is as a person that's a big benefit to the way he races is that he's very comfortable in doing his best every single time. And so he's confident that it's enough to do his best. So he never feels panicky. He gets nervous, of course, to race, but he never gets upset, and he keeps within himself. And as a result, he's able to get a lot out of himself.
I signed for Purdue a few months ago, and hopefully keep going and get some good times.
I think he has laid a foundation to be really successful in the future in all areas of his life. He's learned how to have a priority and apply himself to it every single day. He's learned a good work ethic. He's had some ups and downs like everybody does, so he's learned how to deal with adversity. And I think all those things will help him in college. College is brand new coach for the first time in 4 years, new system, new people to run with. But he's a very adaptable guy because of all these things. So I think he'll do really well both as a runner and as a student.
Just keep at it every day. I mean, even if you're sore, just keep at it.
Here's Ben Baker and Claudia Lee with more on Preston Sadler.
I've been playing hockey since I got my first pair of skates when I was 3. started playing the sport around 5, so about 10 years. I started out playing defense, and I moved up to forward as a wing, just to move the puck out in the offensive zone and source the goals. I love doing wakeboarding, kneeboarding, tubing, everything like that, and I've been doing those for I don't know how long. Just picked it up during the summer, as well as skiing on water and on snow and everything like that. I've been skiing for about as long as I've been skating. It's very similar, so it's really easy to pick up for me. And I just love just flying down the mountain as fast as you can without anybody really holding back. So
Preston brings a lot to the team. He's never afraid to take the body. He's a pretty physical player. He works hard all the time, on and off the ice, and dry land and everything, and he's a pretty well-rounded player.
Yeah, he's a really hard worker. He's always good at creating scoring opportunities for our team because of his physical play. He's always trying to get better and always trying to improve. On the ice, he's a pretty serious guy. He doesn't really like to joke around because he's really focused on his game. But off the ice, he's always got a smile on his face. He's a pretty goofy guy who just likes to joke around and have a good time with his friends.
I found out when I was 5 years old. I really didn't know what was going on because I didn't fully understand what it was. It's mostly genetics is how you get it. My mom also has diabetes, so she understood what the situation was, but I didn't really understand what it was at the time until after I learned out through the years, just figuring it out on my own. Well, normally whenever I'm playing hockey, I gotta make sure that my blood sugar is a little on the high side, just so that whenever I use a lot of energy, that make sure it comes down and it's in a normal range while I'm normally playing. And then I always have my pump on me, which is this right here. And then I just disconnect this and I take it off whenever I'm doing any activities that involve physical contact because I don't want to get it damaged in any way. And then on the bench and off the bench, I always test my blood sugar just to make sure I'm in range. And then I always have either sugar or my pump on me whenever I'm on the bench.
I think you can definitely tell that it affects him. I wouldn't say quite a bit, but every once in a while he has to get off during practice for maybe a couple minutes and eat an Airhead or something to try to get his sugar levels back up. But other than that, I don't think it affects him too much. He usually plays through it, toughs it out until the end.
It's treating your lows, which means that the glucose inside my blood basically isn't as much as everybody else's. So whenever my glucose drops, then I can't have energy made. So then I'll start to get shaky, like my hands will start shaking and everything like that. So then, because there's not enough energy in them to really produce the amount of muscle and everything like that that I really need. So I just have to sit and I have to wait it out after I eat sugar and everything like that. And then I have to wait for it to spread throughout my body. And then after I get off those, then I'll be good. Highs, on the other hand, is when I have too much sugar inside my blood. So my ketones get full of sugar, or my kidneys get full of sugar, and then it causes ketones, which makes my body basically back up with sugar. And then I get really sick because my body wants to get the sugar out. The only way to really get it out is either to throw it up or the other way that doesn't good.
And that's it for this time, Bulldogs.
Be sure to tune in next time for your Columbus North broadcast news source.
For BNN, I'm Maddie Smith.
And I'm Kayla Matheny.